So this is what I'm up to this morning. I'm going to replace the stabilizer link. See how the movement in there? It's got excessive movement. These can be replaced. They've served their time anyway. So the top, let me see. One bolt is 18 millimeters and one nut is 21 millimeters. So I've got a OEM replacement here. Comes with the 2 nuts, and I'm going to replace these. Let me take this tire off. Okay, we can see this even better. And you see this boot here is busted, so it can afford to be replaced. So let me loosen the nuts. So this is how I'm loosening this top nut, because the whole joint spins. It's just a ball joint inside of that boot, and so it's got a 8 millimeter size stud coming out of it here. So I just put an 8 millimeter wrench on it and just push each one in the opposite way, and that's how I'm loosening it. So I got to put the phone down. Because this has been on here so long, the stud, the bolt is kind of tight turning and a little rusted. So I just sprayed a little PB blaster so it makes the turns a little easier. I'll spray this one to prepare it. Yep. So before you take this off, if you're going to do this job, because it's not easy to get a torque wrench on, well, when you put the new one on, it shouldn't spin like that, but obviously once you tighten it out, the new one probably will spin, especially at the top. But you can count the threads before you have loosened this, so you should have been able to see, depending on the truck. This is a 3500 6.7 Cummins. This was tightened down to 8 threads showing. This one's tightened down to 4 threads showing. So that's another way. If you put it back on without a torque wrench and you try to get it back in that same torque spec, just count the threads. Okay, so the bottom is stuck as well. So I got a 21-inch wrench on that, on the nut, and then on the stud I got this portion is not 8 millimeter like the top. This is 10 millimeters. So what I'll do is, because I don't have enough leverage to come here with the frame of the truck and everything, so I'll just unscrew the stud, and this wrench will rest here on the link, on the tie rod link. So therefore I'll just unscrew it by the stud like that. So that makes it easier while that wrench is in place, providing the leverage for that going up, and I'm twisting the stud down. So it's loosening up in there. Yep. See, when you got the right tools, it makes the job much easier. Alright. So I got this loose. I gotta bang that out of there. Out with the old and in with the new. I just use my hammer to tap that out, and then the top falls right into your hand. And look at this, look at there, look at there, look at there. 555,000 miles. You did it, baby. You served your lifespan. You served your lifespan. And that boot was busted right there. Still got grease in there, sounds like. Well, no, just sounds like it. Yeah, it's got some grease in there, but the boot is not packed with grease. Alright, gotta put the new one in. That's my old stuff. I keep all my old metal. You know, once you keep so much old metal, it turns into so much weight. Over time, you done have 5,000 pounds of strap metal without even realizing it. And that's something you can trade in when the prices get to where you need it to be or want it to be. You can trade it for cash. So now I'm inspecting my new one. See, these are much stiffer than the ones I just took off. So, all right. Now I can just slide this in here like this. I need 2 hands so I can straighten it without bending my threads. It requires just a little pressure to get it back in here. And then now you tighten it down. This calls for 75 foot-pounds and this calls for 20, but I'm not going to be using a torque wrench. So again, I'm going to count my threads. There were 8 threads. I tightened it down, only 8 threads were showing, and this had only 4 threads showing. So I'm just going to tighten it back to that number of threads. Now I do have a deep pocket socket, so with a deep pocket socket I can put that on here once I get it tightened down and double check the torque, just to make sure that it's at the right torque spec as well. So you'll need a deep pocket 21 millimeter and a deep pocket 18 millimeter if you want to check the torque specs after you've gotten the bolts tightened down. I'll tighten it back up, just doing the same thing I initially did in reverse. I'm just get this back on there. Got my wrench there, and I'm just tightening it. Counting the threads. Oh shucks, this wrench right here wants to keep moving. Let me put it in a different spot. But as you can see, I'm already at 2.5 threads showing. There we go. One, two. Tighten up the top. Alright, I got my 8 millimeter wrench resting up there. So I go. See, I'm getting a workout. I ain't working out today. This is my workout. I'll go get me a facial and do some yoga. Maybe some steaming, sauna. And that's it for me today. I'm gonna do some with the left arm. But that's it, guys. That's how you replace stabilizer links. Simple, right? DIY. Do it yourself. So anyway, I hope this helps somebody if you ever try to do this, or if you just like watching me work some of the things I work on. And I hope I was entertaining for you. You guys have a blessed day. New tie rod, a new stabilizer link in, and you see, can't twist this one like I could have twisted the other one. So you're gonna have more stability. And sometimes when these go bad, they cause clunking or instability when you go over bumps, or you can notice your tire can start to wear as well. But you see how this, it won't even twist or turn. It's a new link, right? So anyway, that's it. Simple.